Okay, welcome back to day 200 and 35. Sick. Got me some lemon water. Because sometimes cups like this, they kind of smell. So I put a little bit of lemon. Makes it not smell. Fun fact. It does make your water taste like lemon though, because obviously. Oh my god. So like they're saying. So what happened is, we're going out. I bought something from a thrift store. Obviously we're very safe. We're masked up. We're having a good time. And by that I mean we're keeping our distance, and thrift stores why I'm like this, so we're gonna pretend like I'm okay. So what happened is, we go, and obviously we're fully vaccinated. We're masked up, standing 6 feet away. So what happened is, we go to the thrift store, everything's fine, we're keeping our distance from the other people there. There's like another family. I got this really cool sewing machine that I will tell you about later. But what happened is, we went to a grocery store after because we needed stuff. So we run in, and we're in like the frozen aisle, because my mom wants ice cream. And so we're like, okay, let's go get you some ice cream then, you know, like when we're out. So we go get our ice cream. And when we're in this frozen aisle, this older couple walks by, and enough under their breath that I'm like, you're trying to be like, but like, just say it to my face then, okay? But they're like, remember when we had to wear masks? I don't miss it. And I'm just like, okay, yes, it's no longer required. But the way that they said it wasn't, oh man, I'm so glad I don't wear a mask. It was, why are you wearing masks though? And again, we live in a very whatever area, but we look like this. And by this I mean literally, I have usually a better mohawk, looking punk, got some piercings, tattoos, and stuff like that. And my siblings, they look equally as alternative. So what happened is, like my cousin said, we have very liberal hairstyles. So what happened is, they are not saying it. We had this before, where they weren't saying it to be like, oh god, I'm so glad I got the vaccine and I don't have to wear a mask. Which is iffy science anyways, because blah blah blah, carrying it to other people that haven't got vaccinated, blah blah blah, if I wasn't vaccinated and they're right there next to me, blah blah blah. But clearly what they were doing was trying to antagonize us. Again, not the very first time. Probably other ones did things like that, but I never noticed. I'm not a very hints under your breath makes me recognize things. So what happened is, they clearly wanted us to be like upset and triggered, you know, and we're like, what the hell, dude? Okay. My sibling thinks it's like, would be funny if we just start coughing next to them. But the thing is, I can have an actual positive COVID test in my hand, and they would be like, well, I'm vaccinated, so, and I can stick my tongue down their throat, cough in their face, and they'd be like, I'm vaccinated. That's just like the kind of people they are. That also being said, I don't even know if, again, like I mentioned, because it's like technically legal only if you have gotten your vaccines, like double vaccines. But sorry, I got food over here and I don't want it to solidify. So what happened is, they clearly, you know, like, you can just not be wearing a mask. So don't know what they expected. So we just like, okay. But again, they don't care. Like, I can literally have a positive COVID paper, like, test, and be like, you want me not to wear a mask? And they might be like, oh, well, then maybe you shouldn't. But, like, they wouldn't care about themselves because, again, they're vaccinated, so they think they're all good or whatever. So what happens is I was this close to saying my mom died from COVID because my mom had, from August to November of last year, so quite a few, like a handful of months. It might have been even more, but I know for a fact from August through November, my mom had lung issues where she had to take antibiotics, and they gave her even more, and they were like, oh my god, it's not going away. If you get COVID, this is really, really bad. Like, you cannot fight off COVID right now, and your lungs are the problem, so you won't be, no, like, zero. So we had to be super duper safe. My mom did not die, but I got really mad. So how to get my mom on the side of wearing a mask, because she wasn't pro mask, but she would be like, oh, I forgot. Oh, well, they weren't. Oh, well, I stayed 6 feet away. It's like, no, you didn't, because you grabbed the package from the person. So what happened is we told her about all the people that refused and how dumb they are. And now she's very like, oh my god, they are dumb. And I'm like, thank you. So we're finally there. Took a while, but we're here. Like with a lot of things with her. We're finally here. Like me coming out as trans, and then I'm gonna go back in the closet for about 7 more years. Yeah, fun. Anyway, point was that, oh, it's really hot with my noodles on my lap. Anyway, so what happened is, I had to, I told her, like, you know, about what happened. I'm like, dude, I'm just gonna tell people you freaking died because you know, almost freaking died. And, you know, in my state alone, thousands of people died. So, yeah. So I'm like, I'm just gonna tell them you freaking died. And she's like, cool, okay, do it. So pretty much, long story short, I'm really upset with that old couple. But not in like, I'm triggered. It was like, your joke's stupid. That's not a joke when thousands, like tens of thousands of people died, dude. It's not funny. So, and then I realized that was the moment where it popped, like a bubble popped, because I was like, something's wrong. And I didn't know what it was. Like, I couldn't figure it out. And that's when I realized that couple wasn't wearing masks. That woman wasn't wearing a mask. That guy wasn't wearing a mask. Our cash register guy wasn't wearing a mask. And only 2 young, not white female employees were wearing masks. And I'm just like, oh my god. So yeah, so it was like, oh my gosh, that was something that I realized. And again, like, coughing, I don't think that would work, because I just don't think they care. My arm hurts, 1 second. Because I just don't think they care. But I think when it comes to, you know, saying someone I know and love died, that might actually take consideration from that. So, low-key, I'm really gonna start doing that. Fun fact. Because, like, again, a family friend, not even a month ago, freaking died because she had lung problems. She went to the ER, she couldn't pay for the ER, so she got sent home with the treatment and died at home because her lungs were inflamed. Like, if she got COVID, she would have 100% died. And yeah, she's dead now, but that's our fault also for not having, you know, insurance. Like, pay for people that are sick is ridiculous. It's bullshit that she died. It's bullshit. It just is. And, I don't know. The way that they said it was definitely in a fighting thing, not like, I'm so glad I don't have to wear it. It's like, why are you guys wearing it? And I'm just like, don't fight me on it. Just let me wear a freaking mask. Also, I just went to the thrift store. I would have been wearing a mask either way. I started purchasing masks before the pandemic, but it was really hard to find a good mask. Every mask was like, I found one that was like different things that just didn't work, and like it wouldn't have been helpful. And I'm just like, oh. So what I did is, when the pandemic, I just started buying masks. I wear them when I go outside for hikes. I would wear them which we couldn't do for a while because it was closed, but I wear it when I'm out in the garden because I'm allergic. I wear it when I'm out to the thrift store because I'm allergic. I will wear it if I'm feeling sick to the grocery store, not for myself, but for others, because of cold and flu season. I will wear it to protect those around me. Even so, that stupid older man, he's not that much older. He would have been like older 50s or 50s. Like, he's not like older, like 80. Like, he's just older. Entitled age, if you will. I know a lot of ages are entitled ages for white guys. That is a saying that's coming from a white guy, by the way. Thank you. What happened is, the fact that I will choose to continue to wear a mask to protect others from cold and flu or whatever ailment I have, but I get laughed at for doing it. Okay, and also again, I would have worn it either way because we went to the thrift store. I don't want to die from looking at thrift store stuff, or like feel awful. I already feel kind of bad, but the only reason why I'm not feeling even worse is because I was wearing a mask. So, because like, my really cool item that I got for $10, by the way, is a mini, it's supposed to be kid size apparently, back from people say from the 60s, is a little, battery powered sewing machine that still runs and is perfectly fine. So I thought I'd do it to do little projects and stuff, because I just like, dude, this is great, I love it. So I bought it $10, and it's from the 60s. That means it's 60 years old. Some people date it if other ones older, but I'm gonna go with the latest date I saw, which was the 60s. It looks very 60s. I'm gonna go with the 60s. It apparently was sold to children as toys, which is so funny to me. So I'm like, yeah, of course I'm gonna buy that, right? Duh. Again, 60 years old. How much dust and allergies are on that, you know? And we're going through a bunch of stuff that probably had allergies like that. Again, it's a thrift store, duh. But from dust and addict to dogs and cats to anything in between and worse, I get such a bad headache. I mean, I have a headache and that was me wearing a mask. Imagine me not wearing a mask. I have trouble breathing. I can't concentrate. I feel like I'm going to be physically sick. I get physically sick a lot of times. Like, the fact that I can't wear a mask because I'm going to the thrift store and then I called out on it. It's just like, guys, just shut up. Just shut the fuck up, dude. So it really got to me because I'm just like, bro, like this is literally, I don't know, man. It's literally just so ridiculous. Just so ridiculous. I wanted to wear it 2 days from now. I'm planning to wear it when I go to a park to take photos, and I'll probably maybe take it off for photos, maybe keep it on, and I'm just going to take a bunch of photos to come out as trans to my greater community. But if I wore a mask in the middle of the field, people would do the same thing. Again, this is by far not the first time this happened, where I'm wearing the mask and people have sly comments about wearing a mask. And then again, at least now we're down to only a couple hundred people getting sick per day, new cases, versus so much worse. But only 50, maybe 60% of the people, adult people, are vaccinated. That's not enough to be like, we're good, take off your mask. Like, again, I know I'm vaccinated, but dude, I think it's just ridiculous. I think with, but what was the other sly comment someone said? I'm trying to remember what the words were. Oh man, I can't remember what the exact thing. I had it and then I lost it. But oh man, it's just like by far not the first one, and the fact that people are so eager to take it off and then make fun of me for wearing one shows that they didn't take this seriously to begin with. You know, they're not the ones that were wearing the mask first, and they're not going to be the last one wearing the mask. They're going to take it off whenever they could. They probably were those people that like halfway out the door was already ripping off their mask, where I'm like, dude, you're still in the grocery store. Or you're doing a phone call and just take it off for a second, you know. That's the kind of person that those people were if you're going to make fun of me for it. And the fact that my mom could have very, very, very easily could have died, and the fact that we were blessed and fortunate enough to not have that situation happen, versus if we had to work somewhere more public, that we didn't have time to take off to work, and we didn't have to do this, and blah blah. Like, all of that is a privilege that others don't have. Like our family friend, she didn't have the privilege not to meet people or to work. She had to, and she died. You know, and I don't know what it was, because she couldn't do a lot of tests because she didn't have the money for it. So